start getting rid of this ignorance, means you feel better all the time. The peace starts to come. You start feeling peaceful. You feel good. You feel whole. You see things that you hadn't seen before. Your senses become alert and aware. They pick up on things that you've never picked up on before. There is a definite experiential component to this, mind you. We're not against that at all. What is preventing me from appreciating the beauty of myself and of life is what? All this stuff that's going in my mind. I remember the first time one of the first times I took LSD, I came from a kind of gentry environment. My mother was quite an aristocrat, and we had art, and my brother and I learned to play the piano, and we could recite poetry and quote Shakespeare and do all this sort of thing. And we had classical music. We weren't allowed to have crappy music. We didn't have TV. We were too good for TV. We felt the masses had TV, but we were not going to corrupt ourselves with TV. So I grew up on classical music, and I could play a little bit. I could play a little Chopin, various things, sort of parlor stuff. When Mildred and Mona came over, for dinner, then she'd ask one of us boys to play a little nocturne or something on the piano, that kind of thing. And so I loved classical music. And I particularly, at that time, I don't care so much for Beethoven now, but I really like Beethoven. And one time I took a tab of acid, I switched on the Beethoven, and I thought I got the wrong record. So, what the hell is this? It was unbelievable. I looked, yes, and it was Beethoven, but I got the whole thing. Like he must have got it, like the music really was, not how I was conditioned to feel it or hear it, And when you're in a certain mood or a certain state, you actually condition yourself to experience things in a certain way. And what Aldous Huxley said about acid, he said it cleanses the doors of perception. You no longer can, the filters over your experience and your perception disappear on LSD. And you get it raw, clear, exactly as it is, and it's overwhelming. So that's just an example to talk about what happens here. When you let go, you start getting rid of those filters, these vasana filters, these fears, these desires, this anger, envy, jealousy, all these things. When you start letting go of those things, you no longer identify with them, then this music of awareness starts to, you hear it differently. Life, you hear and see and experience life differently. And that's what getting rid of ignorance does, because it's ignorance that's holding all these filters in place. Ignorance being what? Just simply the belief that you're small, you're inadequate, you're incomplete, you're no good, you need things to make you happy, right? The world's out to get me. Sorry, I gotta be, Lita told me I need to behave. I can't satirize this too much because we're on TV. Oh, you have to be more compassionate, Ron. No, we don't have to be like that. Ignorance is ignorance, Let's just call a spade a spade. It's not that glamorous. Ignorance is not that wonderful. It deserves satire.